Hello everybody, my name is Dave, and just as I said I wasn't going to make many videos, here I am making a video straight away. I've not been to the hospital today, so I've got plenty of time, so I decided I'd make a video on common questions and my answers that I get at work all the time. I have 15 questions, and then we'll see what we can do with those. I will say that if anybody has any questions, please make a comment below and I'll try and answer that question for them. Here's question number 1. How long will my fridge last if I use that lithium battery pack? Alright, so I've got a note here. They're referring to the King's 12 ampere hour, 24 ampere hour lithium battery pack here. So it depends on the power consumption and how often you access the fridge is my answer to that. The next question is, how long will my fridge last with an auxiliary battery system? Depends on the battery, how it is charged, how the power consumption of the fridge is, and it also depends on how often you access the fridge. Can I use a flooded lead acid battery cranking to power my fridge? Well, technically yes, you can, but the cranking battery is not really designed to work like a deep cycle battery. Whilst your engine is running, you can plug your fridge and run it. However, as you stop your engine, the fridge is no longer powered. A cranking battery is measured in cold cranking amps, and you'll get about 5 hours of a battery before it is flat if you try and use it as an AGM or a deep cycle. The problem is, though, then you're stranded because you can't start your car. Can I fit an AGM battery under the bonnet? Well, technically you can, but they do not like heat, so they may vent the hydrogen out of the battery and the battery will dry up. The best AGM is one that can be topped up with fluid, so one that's got the removable cap so you can top up the cells. Are lithium batteries safe? That's one I get quite a lot. I had one guy come in, he said, my electrician tells me that those are time bombs waiting to explode. And I said to him, I think it's time you got a new electrician, mate, because he's talking backwards. Lithium batteries are used for camping. LifePo 4 are safer than AGM batteries. They are not flammable and will not catch fire. The worst that can happen is the BMS fails and the battery is overcharged and the prismatic cells bulge, causing the plastic box to expand. What is the main difference between AGM VRLA and lithium-ion batteries? Primarily, the biggest difference is weight and output. For example, if you compare a 120 ampere hour AGM battery with 120 ampere hour lithium, the AGM weighs in about 30 kilograms and the lithium about 11.5. With regards to output, the 120 ampere hour AGM will give you an effective output of around 50% or 60 ampere hours, where the lithium will give you around 90% or 110 ampere hours. The life of the battery varies too with AGM, giving you about 400 to 1500 cycles or 2 to 3 years, and the lithium 2000 to 8,500 cycles around 10 years. But both are dependent on how they are looked after. For example, if you drain an AGM to 0 volts or allow it to dry out inside, you will significantly reduce its life to less than 400 cycles. However, if you only ever drain it to 50% and then keep it recharged, you will get 1500 plus cycles. AGM batteries should be stored full and trickle charged when not in use. Opposed to this is the lithium battery, which will give you most cycles if it's never drained below 30%. However, it will not reduce its life by much if it is completely drained until it shuts off around 10%. What destroys lithium batteries is allowing them to drain then to 0 capacity. A lithium battery should be stored at 50% charge and checked every month or so and topped up as required. Can I fit a DC to DC charger under the bonnet? Yes, you can, but you must ensure that the charger is away from heat sources such as the turbo or the exhaust, as they can get very hot. It is advised that you mount it where there is adequate ventilation. Another consideration there that I haven't mentioned, is it waterproof? Because if you go through river crossings, is it going to get wet? The best place really for a DC to DC charger is in the back of your car. Can I charge a lithium battery using the voltage sensitive relay or smart battery isolator? No, you cannot unless your battery has a BMS that allows the use of non-lithium chargers. The chemistry in a lithium battery is different to AGM and therefore requires a different charge profile. They will charge, but they'll charge to about 60% and stop. Do I need a solar controller regulator to charge a battery from solar? The simple answer is yes, you do. The controller is there to stop overcharging of batteries as the solar panel outputs different voltages depending on the light. The controller also stops the battery discharging to the panel at night when the panel is not active. Can I connect an AGM and a lithium battery together in parallel? The answer is absolutely not at all. The two battery types require different charging profiles, and the controller, regardless of solar or DC to DC, cannot distinguish between the batteries, so it doesn't know what to charge them at. Regardless of solar or DC to DC, the biggest issue is to charge the lithium. You would need to overcharge the AGM, and that is dangerous. Also, once the AGM is discharged, how would the lithium know where to send the charge? To the AGM battery or to the fridge? However, you could connect the batteries next to each other but disconnected from each other and charge one from solar and the other from CC to DC. However, that seems to defeat the purpose of having two batteries, to me. I would suggest having the same battery types, capacity, and even the same make when connecting two batteries together. Why is the cable from the alternator battery so heavy duty? Well, the simple answer here is voltage drop. In the case of a smart battery isolator, voltage drop is quite important, as the drop in voltage will reduce the charge going to the battery. Whereas a DC to DC charger, most of them will boost the voltage and make up for any voltage drop, giving the battery a maximum charge. Can I connect two solar panels together? The simple answer is yes, you can. However, you must connect them in parallel so that you double the capacity rather than the voltage. There are some rules here though. If the panels have a different output wattage, then they will only work at the output of the lowest wattage panel. You must ensure that your controller can handle the exceeded output. For example, if you connect two 250 watt panels and have a possible input current of 40 amps, and you only have a maximum of 20 amps at the controller, it will likely burn it out or damage it. What does AGM and VRLA mean on an AGM battery? Well, AGM stands for absorbent glass mat, and VRLA stands for valve regulated lead acid. You mentioned GVM, but I don't know what that means. GVM stands for gross vehicle mass, and the maximum your vehicle is allowed to weigh with everything inside, including passengers, fuel, and all other items. How much weight can I put on my roof? This is a good question, and only you or your vehicle manufacturer can answer it. Most cars are 50, 75, or 100, with the odd one or two at 200 kilograms. If you put a roof rack on the roof, followed by a 95 kilogram roof tent, roof bars and solar panel plus bedding and the tent, then the weight can get to 200 kilograms very rapidly. And that's the 15th question. So that's all I can think of at the moment. If anyone has any other questions, please ask me and I'll do my very best to answer them. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you out there.